It's been a long weekend.
Rolling? Connor, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, of course.
So we are here Saturday at Blade Show talking to Connor and the Toor Knives booth, and this is your first Blade Show setting up in a booth like this,
Yep,
right?
first show.
Tell me about that experience.
Well, we've been around for, 10 years now.
Right.
8 years officially. So, everyone's always said, oh, you need to do a booth, And we're, most of our business is on our website and coming here for the first time. I mean, it's a crazy crowd this year too. I mean, it's been busy.
Massive.
It's been busy. But the amount of people who have recognized our brand is unbelievable. So the coolest part for me is getting to meet them all. Coming to the counter and someone's bringing a blade that they bought from our website or one of our dealers and showing it like still sharp. And I mean, that's super gratifying for me. So, I'm sold. We'll be here every year.
I think that's an important element. A lot of people, not trash talk, but they look down on going to shows. I don't need to go to shows. I can sell everything. And that is, like you said, it's gratifying and rewarding to see that. And that interaction is appreciated on both sides of the table. Right? Because they appreciate seeing you guys, seeing everybody behind the company, seeing the layouts, seeing that you support them coming out. Because most everybody here travels to this event.
Right.
So that takes time, it takes money, it takes energy, it takes effort. It's good to see both sides really supporting that.
And that's what's cool. And all I am is a representation of the 30-something guys who are back in the shop right now producing these things. And so, I design them all, and I've led the production process for 8 years, but when I'm talking to these customers, I like bringing those stories back to the shop so those guys can hear it too.
Yeah, several of the companies that I've been with in the past, we'll have some kind of debrief afterwards. And because even though you got 8 people in a booth, you're going to have 8 different experiences, and you want to share that with everybody that you're still holding down the fort and making stuff happen. So that's important too.
Right.
Tell me about how you got into this unofficially 10 years ago, officially 8 years ago.
Right. Yeah, so my background is in the Marine Corps, and so I was an infantry guy, and so prior to the Marine Corps, I worked producing skateboards. So we're from San Diego, and I was making skateboards in a factory. So I kind of dabbled in CNC machines and laser cutters and routers, and so I had an idea of how to utilize machinery and work with my hands and produce things. And surprisingly, too, there's a lot of crossover between woodworking and knife making. Sure. So I joined the Marine Corps. Now I'm surrounded by all my future customers, which I didn't know at that point. They weren't customers to me; they were just teammates. And I was in a position where, being an entry-level private first class E1, E2 in the Marine Corps, I wasn't making a lot of money.
Right.
But I wanted one of those nice custom knives that kind of set me apart from all the other guys who are getting the issued blades. Everyone's getting the same blades. They weren't super high quality blades, and I wanted a custom one, but I couldn't afford it.
Looking to upgrade as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So
back then, that would have been what, 10
years
11
ago.
years ago?
Yeah, 2014.
So back then, who would you have looked at I want that knife?
Ooh, man. Some of my inspirations are Chris Reeves for sure. I love Spartan blades. I love Winkler. And there's a lot of hobby level guys that I had just started to follow on social media too. There's a list. There's a list. List of influencers.
But those are pretty influential ones, I would say.
And it's crazy now. We're all real good friends. And I'll say this about Spartan, man. From the get-go, the one company that's kind of always supported us they've always been friendly. It's been Spartan Knives.
Okay.
So,
yeah, nice guys over there.
Really
good
guys.
Solid stuff.
So I was able to kind of pull a little bit of inspiration, but I had my own ideas, right? I wanted to tweak this and that and add this kind of thing, and I didn't know a lot, but I started making blades in the garage and out back, and started selling them to teammates, and so one thing led to another.
Is there a knife here that would be close to what your first, maybe not your first knife, but your first production knife or the first model that you came out with?
So it's obviously a little bit different, but literally the first blade that I ever made was named the Raven. And so this is the Raven 10 years later. It's obviously refined and sharper and
hopefully
cleaner.
It's a little better than 10 years ago in the garage, right?
Exactly. So this is kind of a heritage blade for me. This and the Serpent. So the Serpent is this guy right here. These two blades, I still have the first sheet of steel that I cut. like the first production run of 50 blades or whatever I did. The Serpent and the Raven are on that sheet, so it's kind of cool to see it 10 years later.
That's cool.
Obviously, it's a lot different, but
yeah. But those are the two main ones that started it.
Yep.
Tell me about what you got coming. Either is coming out or already just came out.
Man, it feels like we're always doing something. So the big thing that we're doing right now that we're in the heat of is one of our seasonal drops, which is the Patriot series that you guys are looking at right now. We do 4 of these a year. We just started doing this year. We started with the heavy metal collection at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But this particular set is kind of the 4th of July summertime theme. You know, PBR, beer drinking, having fun, red, white, and blue. So
it doesn't have to be PBR though, right?
No.
You get some.
We can go get some PBR.
Okay.
But black Cerakote, or actually we use KG Gun Coat. What's unique about these is the custom engraving that we do. So it's not a standard Toor logo. It's only on these blades. And then that combined with, the red, white, and blue themed handles. These are actually light gray just to kind of help with dirt. But
wait, so does every seasonal drop get its own logo?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
It will get its own artwork. That artwork we also use on T-shirts and hats and stickers that go along with the drop.
So full branding.
Full brand, full package. We picked 3 really strong fixed blades for us. I mean, I'm a fixed blade guy, but 3 blades that we really think represent that Americana.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I'm a fixed blade guy.
Right.
I'm carrying 3 knives right now. 2 of them are fixed blades.
Right.
One you see, one you don't see. But anybody can carry a folder pretty easily, pretty legally throughout the 50 states. But the fixed blade, to me, is the primary.
Right.
And that's the way I think of it. How do you feel about that?
Well,
why do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think it depends what you're using it for, right? Like in a self-defense scenario or a tactical situation, you want a fixed blade. And the reason for that is because there's a lot less points of failure on a fixed blade than a folding knife. So a folding knife, though, it can't be beat for small tasks like cutting open boxes or packages or whatever. But what's interesting about fixed blades is, these size fixed blades are, I carry them in my pocket.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily putting them on my belt. Like I will slide this in my pocket because, it sits just like that. It's so low profile.
So a deep carry Kydex sheath in your pocket, clip on the outside of the pocket.
If you use something like an Ulti clip, I'll grab one for you guys.
Dude, do you have one of their new ones? They're wire clips.
I don't.
I like it.
Is it good?
They just released it at SHOT Show. What is this called? And I grabbed one from Ryan, and I've been using it, and they grab really well.
That's what it's a perfect application for something like this because you put the Ulti clip up here.
Yeah.
And by the time it goes in your pocket, it's a lot smaller than even some of these folding knives that I'm seeing you.
Yeah, it's not obnoxious. It's not big.
So that's all it is.
Yeah, I agree with that. And even you say tactical or self-defense situation, but I think a fixed blade transcends all of that. I come from when I was a kid growing up, I was on a ranch. I grew up on a ranch. I grew up with horses and all that. And animals were always getting tangled in things. And a fixed blade was easier to hold the animal down and then get a fixed blade out because you don't have to open it.
And then close
Back
it.
in the 70s and early 80s, there weren't a lot of one-handed opening folders. So it was way easier to deal with it with a fixed blade.
Right.
So I think a lot of people, and your stuff looks very tactical, but it's also has practical applications outside of that world. I think across all of that.
And that's why we started, our customer initially was the tactical, the team guy, the Marine. But there's so much crossover for a tactical blade to all types of customers that I got asked earlier today, like, who's your main customer? I'm like, the adventure seeker, the guy who's outdoors and doing things and working, and because there's so many applications for a blade. It's the first tool man ever made.
Wait, are you telling me there's more people out there using fixed blades for normal everyday tasks than getting in knife fights?
Yes. Isn't that crazy? That's a wild concept right there.
This is shocking.
Yeah.
That's why the fixed blade is king. And I'm trying to educate and communicate this to more people. Yeah, carry a fixed blade. You don't have to carry some concealed wazoo, karambit, death killer machine. But like you had there, that is a practical, usable size. It's not scary. You're not going to pull it out and people are thinking you're going to try and mass murder somebody.
It's a tool. It's a tool.
Yeah, it's a great practical, carryable tool. Yeah, we're going to take that education campaign on the road.
Yeah, I like it. I'm behind it.
Connor, thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to doing more stuff between Knife Joy and Toor and all the other stuff that we can't talk about that's coming up. So
absolutely. You know where to find us.
Thanks, folks.